All right, guys, it's time to belly up to the bar and see what's on tap at Brews with Brian. Hey, guys, welcome back to the relaunch of Brews with Brian here on the Loaded Sports Network. Thank everybody for listening. Last week's show, we had another great show. Going to continue that this week, so let's pull it on up now, guys. We got Red Jam from Garr's Brewing, or Garr's Beer Company, excuse me, out of Franklin, Tennessee. Not far from Nashville, not very far from where we live here in Alabama. Um, this is one of the first craft beers I tried. I was at a beer festival they have every year here in Huntsville, and this sounded pretty interesting, so I thought I'd give it a shot. It's a red ale, or more commonly known in the beer world, an American amber. And popping the top on this beer and pouring it into a glass, like I've said on these other episodes, that's how you should drink all craft beer. Pour it into a glass, you get more of the aroma, and it's just going to be a better experience for you if you do it that way. You can see in the picture here, it's poured into a glass, but it pours, a deep, murky, reddish brown color, more so than amber, which is off base considering it's an American amber beer. It has a big, fluffy, 2.5 finger tan head, as you can see in this picture. Um, Loads of lace on the glass. It's a decent looking beer. Not anything outstanding like some of the other beers that I've reviewed here on the relaunch in the past few weeks. But you know, next up is going to be the aroma, um, and it's something different. Just to be honest with you, you get the malt amber base spiked with some light strawberry notes. You also get hints of plum and a little astringent notes as well. So this thing is it's different. It's very different, especially from the other beers I've reviewed. But guys, the reason you're probably listening, how does this thing taste, Brian? Why don't you tell us how it tastes, Brian? Well, tasting this beer is just liking the aroma, a bready malt base, lightly sweet strawberry notes, some other darker fruit hints, maybe plums. I couldn't quite place it really. The finish is herbal and lightly earthy. The hops balance out the sweetness, which is good because otherwise this thing would have been probably too sweet. The mouthfeel is medium, and the carbonation level seems a little too much for this beer. Maybe it's a little bit too carbonated. I can't really think of a sport, that this beer would go with. Here on the Loaded Sports Network, we obviously want to try to tie us into sports as much as possible. But to be honest, I wasn't a fan of this beer at all, really. I think they missed the mark. To me, it was not an American amber at all. It's closer to a fruit beer than anything else. So, guys, let's check in on our buddy Bill. We see him every week. Let's see what he thinks of this beer. Of course, every week we see him in this picture pouring a beer in the Brews of Brian mug. So, Bill, Bill's got a lot of talents, and he's got such a keen sense of smell that he could smell a Skittle and tell you what color it is. So, Bill, what'd you think about this beer this week? Red Jam from Garr's Beer Company. He can't even look at us. So I don't think Bill likes this beer either, guys. So, like I said, try it if you want. Um, I actually encourage you to try all the beers. That way you can tell what you don't like. You don't have to listen to my review of it. Maybe you have different tastes than I do. But guys, let's go over to the Brews with Brian bar trivia. Last week we asked what the standard diameter for a dartboard was, and it's 17 3/4 inches. How many of y'all knew that? That was a hard one. Congratulations if you got that one right. Question for this week: what is the highest grossing video game franchise to date? I'm in my mid 30s, and I've played video games my whole life, and we've actually got Loaded High Score here on the Loaded Sports Network. If you want to hear about video games with Ike, so what is the highest grossing video game franchise to date? We'll find out next week on the show, guys. But hey, that's going to do it for another episode of Brews with Brian. I want to thank everybody for listening. The show is on YouTube and anywhere you find your audio podcast. Don't forget to like and share. Give us reviews. Tell your friends. Maybe if they like craft beer, maybe they'll enjoy me talking about it. And always remember, don't be stupid. Don't do stupid stuff while you're drinking. It's pretty easy to be responsible, and that's what we all need to be when we drink. We're not children, guys. But that's going to do it for this week of Brews with Brian. And don't forget to come back where knowledge is always on tap.